My guest tonight has spent over 20 years in Congress, leads the House Intelligence Committee, and also sits on the Select Committee on the January 6th attack. He's written a new book called Midnight in Washington. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Congressman Adam Schiff. It's good to see you again. Good to see you again. As I was telling the people earlier, 2 years ago you were here impeaching the former president. Now you're on the January 6th committee, about to hold Bannon in contempt. President Biden has said, let me get this right, he hopes the committee, quote, goes after him. What's going to happen?
We're going after him.
What is that? What does that mean? Why is this? It feels unusual that Congress or a congressional committee is enforcing a subpoena. Why is this such a rare event?
Well, because for the last 4 years, when you had Sessions and then Bill Barr running the Justice Department, they viewed their job, particularly Bill Barr, as essentially the criminal defense firm for Donald Trump. And there was little point in holding witnesses who didn't show up accountable by referring them to prosecution, because after all, we held Bill Barr in contempt. If he wasn't going to prosecute himself, he certainly wasn't going to prosecute others for ignoring congressional subpoenas.
So the enforcement arm is the Justice Department. You don't have your own gendarmes. You can't send out the sergeant-at-arms to clap somebody in irons and drag them in.
Actually, in the past, about 100 years ago, we could do that. There was a jail in the Congress. We might need to bring it back.
As I was saying earlier in the monologue, Bannon wasn't in the administration at the time, so the exertion of executive privilege, which is not being supported by the Biden administration, makes him kind of a soft target here. Is it because of what he knows or what he represents that it's so important to actually bring the enforcement of the subpoena?
It's really both. Certainly what he knows is really important. And on January 5th, the day before the insurrection, he was telling people that all hell was going to break loose the next day. He was in, as we understand, continual communication with the former president. So there's a lot he can tell us about what went on in the run-up to January 6th, what the president may have known about the propensity for violence, the participation of white nationalist groups. So he is a very pertinent witness. But it's also really important right from the start that we establish that if you ignore your lawful requirement of testifying when you're subpoenaed, you will go to jail. That's an important
I'm so glad to hear that. You know, one of the most frustrating things and most disheartening things about the last 4 years is not just what happened, though certainly that, kept you awake at night. It's that there didn't seem to be any consequences for anyone flouting the rule of law or the equal powers of the separate parts of our government. How long, what's the timeline on this? How long before you might be able to talk to Mr. Bannon?
Well, we're going to pursue the vote tomorrow night. That'll go to the full House. The House will vote to hold him in criminal contempt. And then the Speaker sends it to the Justice Department, and we will expect them to act quickly. Now, just to your broader point, though, about why people got the sense that they could ignore the law and with impunity, they did that for 4 years. And even now, I have to say, and this is, I think, a difference between where I am and where the Justice Department is, I think you have to investigate all of the former president's crimes. I don't think you can ignore them. And I say that because if anyone in this audience had called the Secretary of State of Georgia and said, I want you to find 11,780 votes that don't exist, and suggested that they might be prosecuted if they didn't, you would go to jail. And I think you can't have a situation where you can't prosecute a sitting president, and when they leave office, you can't prosecute a former president, because if that's the case, then the president really does become above the law. And to me, that is just dangerous.
We have to take a quick break, but stick around. We'll be right back with more Congressman Adam Schiff.